Morning and welcome back. It's time for Car Talk, and Jerry Walker is joining us live in studio this morning, ready to answer your car care questions. Hop on the phone lines right now. It's 756-1212, and he'll be happy to help you out with whatever car care problems you might have out there. Good morning, Jerry.
Good morning.
I know we're going into this long holiday weekend, so a lot of folks will probably be getting their cars together. We're going to hop on the phone lines first, see what the folks at home have to talk about. Alex, you're up first. Please go ahead with your question.
Yes, I have a 2002 Nissan Sentra, and it's turning over, but it seems like one or two of the cylinders, or only one or two of the cylinders, are firing. Sounds almost like the timing is flipped a little bit or something like that.
I mean, that's one of the possibilities, of course, but I mean, there's a lot of things when you're like that to check. I mean, first of all, we need to be sure we've got fire on all the cylinders, and that, you know, your coil, and be sure we've got ground and coil. Be sure our injectors are firing, you know, with the little node light. There's a lot of things that go into that. I mean, it could be on the timing, but generally speaking, you're going to find it elsewhere most of the time. I mean, a lot of the times we even find it not only in the coils, but more likely the PCM or the ECM, as a lot of people call it, the main computer on there. But I'd get somebody, you know, to go through and actually, you know, check it all the way through so you can find that out. But more than likely, I think it's going to be an electronic side.
All right, let's hop on the phone lines again and get Danny. Danny, please go ahead with your question.
Yeah, I've got a 2004 Chevy minivan, and the ASB light stays on, and, you know, the brakes seem like they're working just fine. And then one other problem is sometimes, like if you start to take off, it acts like it don't want to shift exactly right, and then sometimes it just shifts. It's just as fine as, you know, like it's new. So I wonder if you can tell me what's going on with that.
Well, I mean, on your first one, I mean, on your ABS, your regular brakes and ABS are two different things. I mean, so when your ABS light's on, doesn't mean that your brakes are not feeling right and that you're not being normal with it. But in a panic stop, they're probably not going to work correctly because you probably got a sensor or it's seeing something on there is why that light's on. So I definitely see if you can get somebody to check that out that way, you know, because it's there to keep you from locking up and, you know, to shorten your stopping distance. And on your shifting issue, depending on mileage, you know, a lot of times it sounds like, you know, possible valve body issue, something going on. It sounds like we're getting a bypass every once in a while. Check your fluid if you can, and, you know, check the color if there's any discoloration, or smell to it too. It might be time to get it serviced. That's a good place to start with something when you've got an intermittent problem and it's been a while since you've serviced that transmission.
All right, Brent is our next caller. Brent, please go ahead with your question.
Yes, sir. I've got a 97 four-cylinder Honda Civic, and I was wanting to know what would cause this not to crank. It's turning over and everything. It's just not cranking, and it seems like it's flooding itself out.
Okay.
Change the plugs and everything.
All right. Again, if you're cranking but you're not starting, is what you're in there. So I mean, we need to be sure that you've got, you know, fire and fuel. I mean, to every cylinder, and most of the time you're going to find it on the fire side. You know, so be sure that we have, you know, like the previous caller, where we've got all the coils. The coils are working fine. They're all grounded, and we've got good injector pulse. So that's something. You're going to get in there a little bit further with that and get somebody that, or if you've got the tools to actually go through and check that side of it, because you're going to need to check all your powers and grounds on top of your pulsing with your injectors.
All right, unfortunately, we run out of time, but Jerry, we appreciate you joining us on Tuesday morning at this time, as you always do. And folks at home, if you have any car care questions you didn't get on with Jerry, look him up there at Infinity of Chattanooga, 7648 Lee Highway, 424-4040, or online at infinitychattanooga.com. We'll be right back.